Good morning, class. So, welcome to the next session of structural engineering. And in the previous session, we have solved some problems on singly reinforced beam. So, in this class, we will solve some more problems on this design of singly reinforced beam, because this is a very important topic. Okay. So, we'll solve one problem on cantilever again. A cantilever beam of span 4 meters is subjected to an all-inclusive factored load of 5 kilonewton per meter over entire span. 5 kilonewton per meter over entire span. Design the beam using M20 and Fe415 grades of concrete and reinforcement respectively. Now you have a cantilever beam again. Okay. For a cantilever beam, this will be the condition: one end fixed, another end free, and it is subjected to an all-inclusive load of 5 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 5 kilonewton per meter is given as load. Okay. Now you will write what is span given. It is given as 4 meters and it is subjected to an all-inclusive load. See here what is mentioned: all-inclusive factored load. Very important condition here. What do you mean by all-inclusive? All-inclusive means it includes dead weight, dead load and live load. You need not do the calculation of load. You did not calculate load here. Load calculation is already done. You have given the load 5 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So you need not do that step. Span is given to you 4 meters. This is directly WU, also given factored, right? So this is WU, ultimate load, also means it is multiplied with 1.5. You need not multiply it 1.5 again. Okay, a factored load of 5 kilonewton per meter. It can also give you like this: all-inclusive ultimate load. It means the same. WU means ultimate. All-inclusive ultimate load means factored load. All-inclusive design load means the same. All-inclusive factored load means the same. Okay, design, factored, ultimate, all these means the same. What does they mean? It is multiplied by factor of safety. You need not multiply with factor of safety again. Okay. Now next step, you are given FCK, which is 20 Newton per millimeter square. Next you are given Fy, which is 415 Newton per millimeter square. You consider this as effective span. Let this be effective. Okay, L effective. Now you are not given anything about dimensions. B is unknown, D is unknown. So first we will start with assuming what is B. Let capital B is equal to 230 mm. We will assume this. Okay, the span is given as, effective span is given to you as 4 meters. Okay, now capital B, you know it is 230, you assume it has to be 230 mm. Now using span to depth, effective depth ratio, using L by D ratio, which is equal to 7 in the case of cantilever beam. Now 4000 divided by 7 is equal to small d. From this you will get small d as 4000 by 7, 71.4 mm. This is what you are getting, small d. Now we'll assume capital D is equal to, let it be 600 mm. You cannot assume less than this value, don't say 500, okay. Your value should be more than this. Now compute small d. Small d is equal to 600 minus 20 minus 16 mm by 2. Tell me how much this is? 572. It is more than this value, it is safe. Or you can take 12 mm diameter bars also. So this will be 574. Okay. Now next step, you got B and D. What is your next step now? Load calculations you need not do here, because this is all inclusive factored load directly given to you. You do not, you directly skip that step. Next is you need to calculate moment. Okay, ultimate moment. Ultimate moment. Mu is equal to Wu into L effective square divided by 2, because this is a cantilever beam. Always remember, see the end conditions properly and use the formula. Okay, so this will be 5 multiplied by 4 square and whole divided by 2. So this comes out to be 16 into 5, it is 40 kilonewton meter. 40 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now you got how much ultimate moment is. Okay, need not do load calculations, because this is all inclusive factored load. Suppose it is given all inclusive load, means you need to multiply it with factor of safety. Okay, all inclusive load is mentioned, only all inclusive load means you need to multiply 5 with 1.5. okay, it is mentioned factored, so that is why we are not multiplying it with factor of safety. Okay, now next, mu lim is equal to 0.138 FCK BD square, directly using the formula for Fe415. For Fe415, if you substitute XU max is equal to 0.48 D, this is the final answer you will be getting. Okay, so substitute in this one, 0.138 into 20 multiplied by 230 into 572 square. Tell me what is the answer? 207.6 kilonewton meter. 207.6 10 power 6 Newton millimeter, which is equal to 207 kilonewton meter. Now what is your next step? XU max is not required. So directly use the formula. Next is you need to calculate area of reinforcement required. Okay, area of reinforcement. Area of reinforcement required. Formula is AST is equal to, either of the formula you can use, 0.5 FCK by Fy under root 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square into BD. I am using this formula because I feel this is more comfortable formula. Okay, so tell me what is the answer? mu is, what is mu? 40 10 to the power of 6. Okay, substitute all the values. If you want, I'll write 0.5 into 20 by 415 multiplied by 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 into 40 10 power 6 divided by 20 into 230 into 572 into 230 into 572 square. 2 or 3 digit?
4.84.
Wrong. 10 power 6. 6. 10 power 6. $200.09. 200.09 mm square. Now this much area of tensile reinforcement is required. Okay. Now AST minimum, this step we have missed in the last problem. This is compulsory. AST minimum is equal to 0.85 into BD by Fy, or this is given in code book page number 47, I guess. Formula is AST minimum by BD is equal to 0.85 by Fy. So substitute in the formula. Yes, no talking please. 0.85 into 230 into 572. 0.85 into 269.4 mm square. Just see here what is happening. Because of 40 kilonewton meter, you are getting a reinforcement of 200. But what does this mean? This is the least reinforcement to be provided for this cross section. Okay, B and D. For a cross section of 230 by 572, you need to provide at least this much amount of reinforcement. So always remember, provide which is greater. Provide greater of the two. So which should be provided? 269. Okay, so 200 is less. You need to provide 269. So AST to be provided, you can write like this: AST provided is equal to 269.4 mm square. Now tell me how many bars you require of 12 mm diameter. How many bars you require? You require 3 bars. 269.4 divided by pi by 4 into 12 square. This is equal to approximately equal to 3. 3 bars. Okay, 3 bars are required. Remember, you should never miss this step. AST minimum is very important, especially in the case of cantilever beams where small d value is very big value. If you see, small d value is more compared to your problems of simply supported beam. The d value in case of cantilever beam will be more. So use AST minimum should be computed. Now last step is you need to draw the diagram. You require 3 bars of 12 mm diameter. Now where is the tension zone in this case? It is at the top. Why? Because this is a cantilever beam. So you need to provide 3 bars in tension here. These are 3 bars of 12 mm diameter. Now here you need to provide 2 bars of 12 mm diameter hanger bars. These are provided to hold the vertical reinforcement. So this is the case of a cantilever beam. Similarly, we will solve one more problem of a simply supported beam. A simply supported beam, of span 7 meters is subjected to an all-inclusive load of 10 kilonewton per meter. 10 kilonewton per meter. The beam is resting on 230 mm thick wall. 230 mm thick wall. Design the beam using M20 and FE 415 grades of concrete and steel reinforcement respectively. Grades of concrete and steel respectively. Okay. Now here this is a case of a simply supported beam. You are given a simply supported beam like this, which is subjected to a uniformly distributed load 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, 10 kilonewton per meter. The span given to you is 7 meters, which is nothing mentioned, means it is a clear span. We need to calculate effective span in this case. Okay, and also in the question it never mentions you what type of load is this, whether it is a point load, whether it is a UDL, whether it is a UVL. Okay, so based on the units you need to decide what type of load. Generally kilonewton per meter will be a uniformly distributed load. Okay, so first step is span given to you 7 meters. Okay, now W is given to you, which is 10 kilonewton per meter. What is mentioned, it is only all inclusive load. Means what? It is inclusive of self weight and dead weight and live load, but not factored. You need to factor it. Sometimes in the question it will mention like this, all inclusive load of 40 kilonewton per meter. In the brackets it will mention to you it is factored. So always read the problem carefully while solving. Okay, if you go through the question 2 or 3 times, you will be able to justify what are the values given to you. Okay, remember that, read the question 2 to 3 times. Okay, next, thickness of support is given, which is 230 mm. Okay, similarly grades of concrete FCK is given to you as 20 Newton per millimeter square. Fy is given to you as 415 Newton per millimeter square. Now what is your first step? Step 1, which is involving the calculation of B. Okay, so we'll assume let capital B is equal to BS, which is 230 mm. Okay, so that the width of support and the width of beam will be same. 230 mm width you have assumed. Okay, now what is the next step? L by D based on span to effective depth ratio. L by D is equal to 20 here. Why? Because this is a simply supported case. Previous case was a cantilever beam in which L by D was equal to 7. Now in this case you have L by D as 20. So from this, D is equal to 7000 divided by 20. How much this is? It is 350. 350 mm. If you see the previous case, it was a cantilever beam of only 4 meter span. How much depth was required? 571. Now it is a 7 meter span. Carrying more load requires less depth. Why? Because it has got one additional support here. Okay, it is not free support, additional support you have. So generally types of beams such as simply supported or fixed beams like this, they require less depth compared to the cantilever. Cantilever beams require more depth, and also it is not capable of carrying much load. Why? Because it is having one free end. Now next step is let capital D is equal to, we'll assume capital D as 450 mm. Okay, let capital D is 450 mm. Now small d will be equal to 450 minus 20 minus 16 by 2. So this will be 422 mm. 422 mm. Okay. Now next step is load calculation. Okay, you did not do any load calculations here. Simply you need to multiply the given load with factor of safety, because this is all inclusive load. You write down here 10 kilonewton per meter, which is all inclusive. Now WU will be 1.5 into 10, which is equal to 15 kilonewton per meter. 15 kilonewton per meter. Why? Because this is unfactored load. You need to multiply it with the factor of safety. Factor of safety for load is always 1.5. Okay. Now next step, factored moment. Mu is equal to WU into. Okay. Next step is you also need to calculate what? Effective span. Okay. Effective span. L effective. Okay, two conditions are there. L effective is equal to L plus BS by 2 plus BS by 2, which is equal to what is L? 7000 plus 230 by 2 plus 230 by 2, which is equal to 7230 millimeter, which is equal to 7.23 meter. Another condition is L plus D, which is equal to 7000 plus 422, which is equal to 7422 millimeters, which is equal to 7.42 meters. Okay, 7.42 meters. So which is the least value? 7.23 is the least value. So L effective will be equal to least of the two, that is 7.23. 7.23 meter. Okay. Now next step is you need to calculate factored moment WU into L effective square by 8, which is equal to WU factored load 15 into 7.23 square by 8. Tell me how much this is? 98.01 kilonewton meter. WL square by 8 is the formula. Why? Because this is a simply supported beam subjected to UDL. Now next step is you need to compute what is MU lim. Others also please check these answers. Okay, it is correct. 98.01. Please check the answers. Now MU lim is 0.138 FCK BD square. Okay, so this will be 0.138 into 20 into 230 multiplied by 422 square. This is how much? 113.04 kilonewton meter. So MU is less than MU lim. Okay, limiting moment is more and applied moment is less. Tell me which type of section this is? Singly reinforced beam. Okay, singly reinforced beam. Singly reinforced beam. So what will be your next step? You need to compute area of reinforcement. How much area of reinforcement you require? So AST will be AST is equal to 0.5 FCK by Fy into 1 minus root of 1 minus 4.6 mu by FCK BD square multiplied by BD. Come on, tell me this answer fast. 4.6 mu by FCK BD square. Mu is, what is mu? 98.01 10 to the power of 6. Okay, FCK is 20, Fy is 415, B is 230, D is 422. Using the new calculators, you can substitute this complete formula in a single line there. What happened?
Seven
770.50 mm square. 770.50 mm square is the area of reinforcement required. Now next step is we'll check how much is AST minimum. What is minimum reinforcement? Okay, formula is 0.85 BD by Fy. So this is equal to 0.85 into B is 230, D is 422 divided by 415 divided by 198.79 mm square. Now in this case, AST is more, AST minimum is less. Okay, so which reinforcement is to be provided? AST is to be provided. Why? Because this is more. Always remember, greater of the two should be provided. Now convert into number of bars. N is equal to AST by A5, which is equal to 722.50 divided by pi by 4 into 16 square. So how much this is? 770.50 divided by pi by 4 into 16 square, approximately equal to 4 bars. 3.83, which is equal to 4 bars. Okay, now last step is you need to draw the diagram here. So diagram, where is the tension? Tension is below the neutral axis. Okay, so these are 4 bars of 16 mm diameter. Suppose you cannot accommodate these bars here. Okay, always remember, code has given 2 conditions for spacing of these bars. Code book. Code has given you some conditions to provide spacing between the bars. How much spacing is to be provided between bars? This is the spacing. Okay, how much is to be provided? Suppose you have 4 or 5 bars, you need to refer this book to provide the spacing. Okay. So the spacing, minimum distance between individual bars, this is given on page number 45, clause number 26.3.2. It is under 26.3 spacing of reinforcement, page number 45 of your code book. Minimum distance between individual bars. See here, it is mentioned the horizontal distance. Okay, this is the horizontal distance between 2 parallel main reinforcing bars. These are parallel bars, right? So horizontal distance between the 2 parallel main reinforcing bars shall not be less than the greatest of the following. Okay, it should be greatest of these 3. First one is the diameter of the bar if the bars are equal. Okay, second is the diameter of the larger bar if the diameters are unequal. And the third one is 5 mm more than the nominal size of coarse aggregate. I'll give you all the 3. See here, these are given to you as spacing between the bars. Spacing between bars. Okay, now first one, it is given to you diameter of the bar if the bars are equal. Now you are providing all 4 bars of same diameter. Okay, so the spacing based on the first condition, it is telling you to leave a spacing of diameter of bar. Okay, so this will be 16 mm. Okay, you are providing 16 mm diameter bar. Okay, so court is suggesting you provide spacing of equal to the diameter of bar. So first is 16 mm, you are providing 16 mm diameter bars. Now second condition is diameter of larger bar if the diameters are unequal. Suppose you are providing like this, you are providing 2 bars of 20 mm and 1 bar of 16 mm. So court suggests you that you provide a spacing equal to diameter of larger bar. Okay, diameter of larger bar. You are using bars in combination. Suppose these 2 bars are of greater diameter, this is of lesser diameter. So court suggests you that you provide a spacing equal to the diameter of larger bar. Now last one is, now if we don't have any different bars here, we have all 4 bars of same diameter. So the second condition will be also equal to 16 mm. Okay. Now third condition, 5 mm more than the nominal size of coarse aggregate. Okay, 5 mm more than the nominal size of coarse aggregate. What do you mean by coarse aggregate? The particle which is of size more than 4.75. You have studied in geotech, right? Geotech or soil mechanics, that a particle whose size is more than 4.75 mm, okay, or which retains on 4.75 mm, it is called as coarse aggregate. Okay, so nominal size of coarse aggregate which we use for RCC structure is 20 mm. Okay, 20 mm, which coarse aggregate which you see which is called as concur, right, which is 20 mm sized. So what it is suggesting you, 5 mm more than the size of coarse aggregate, means third condition is 5 mm more than the size of coarse aggregate. Okay, coarse aggregate size is 20 mm, 5 mm more will be 25 mm. So 5 mm more than the size of coarse aggregate will be 25 mm. Now greatest of all these values should be taken as spacing between the reinforcement. So this will give you 25 mm. Greatest value is third condition, which is 25 mm. So you need to leave a space of 25 mm in between these. Okay, and this cover, let it be 20 mm. Now we'll calculate if this width is sufficient or not. Okay, starting from this point, you leave a cover of 20. Okay, then you have 4 bars, 4 into 16. Okay, and you have 3 spaces plus 3 into, what is the space? 25. Greatest of the 2 is the space, greatest of the 3 is called as, is the spacing between the bars. Okay, so 3 into 25. The last one is again 20. Okay, last it is again 20. 4 bars of 16 mm diameter, 4 into 16, plus 3 spaces you have of 25 mm each, 3 into 25, plus again this last cover 20. Tell me how much this is? 179 mm. 179 mm is less than 230 mm. Okay, what is the width of beam we have? 230 mm. So 179 is less than 230 mm. So it means you can provide 4 bars in a single line. 4 bars of 16 mm diameter can be provided in a single line. Otherwise, if this is not satisfied, suppose this is more and the width available is less, in that case you need to provide bars in 2 rows. Okay, suppose the width is less, then you need to provide bars in 2 rows like this. 4 bars need to be provided like this. Okay, you cannot provide any bar here. Why? Because you cannot hold this bar. Suppose you can provide bar here, but 4 bars providing like this is wrong. Okay, bar should be symmetrical about this axis. So you need to provide 4 bars in 2 rows. Understood the point? 2 bars in each rows. Okay, so this is the condition. Remember this condition, very important. Suppose you check this by using 20 mm diameter bars also. Either you can provide 4 bars of 20 mm diameter in a single row of beam of 230 mm width. So if that is also satisfied, this can be done. Okay, understood this point?